Hello everybody. I hope that you're well. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, then please do go back and have a look at all the different videos I've created to help you understand, firstly, what human design is and why it's so magical. But also there are lots of videos to help you understand, what the different centers mean, what the gifts might mean, what your profile lines might mean, so that when you're looking at your own chart, you can at least start to get an idea of the story that it's trying to share with you. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about a theme that seems to be coming up quite a lot for an awful lot of people around me in particular at the moment, and that is this feeling of stuckness, this inability to feel, this inability to move, right? So whether that's within your life, whether it's within your business, knowing that something isn't quite right, but being really unsure as to how to change it or what to do. And I think for some people, even giving themselves a permission to recognize that they do feel stuck, that they do want to change something. I'm not going to sit here and say that the automatic answer is, know your strategy, know your authority, because I'm not sure that is particularly helpful. But I do want to talk about your energy type, and I do want to talk about how we can lean into our energy types to explore this feeling of stuckness. So first and foremost, I think it's perfectly normal to acknowledge that we all feel stuck at some point in our lives. Some people are very lucky, for example, to create a career that will serve them throughout the rest of their lives, right? It's something that they can then honor, that they can grow through, that they can gain lots of wisdom around and become masters within their profession, within their field. But then there are lots of people as well who want to be able to try different things, and that maybe as they go through their life, they suddenly pivot on their career direction, they change where they're living, they move to a different country. So the one constant thing that we know about life is that it's always changing, right? And I think for many, many years, we have been afraid of change. We don't like the feeling of feeling unsettled. We don't like it when the rug kind of gets pulled out from underneath us. And sometimes the universe forces us, to change, and it will pull the rug from underneath us if we don't listen and watch out for those signs. And normally those signs are how you feel, right? They always start with you. You can feel something's not quite right. You can feel that maybe you're not as enthusiastic about something as you used to be. You feel that maybe you're not getting the satisfaction out of this thing that you did, that you once did. Maybe you feel like you've exhausted it and you've squeezed out all the possible juice that you can out of it, and that you've reached where you wanted to with it. But it's then that leap, right, of kind of then just saying, well, you know what, I want to kind of say, I want to put this down now, and I want to I want to move on and do something different. And we stop ourselves from taking that leap by getting ourselves stuck. We create blocks, we don't see maybe signs that are going on around us. We don't embrace different opportunities because we're worried. We're worried about what this might look to other people, that maybe we've spent money on doing qualifications and certifications and things, and what would people think? We're worried about losing our stability because we've got financial commitments and bills to pay, etc. And so then we start to put this an enormous amount of pressure on ourselves. We start layering it on, right? Oh no, I can't possibly change. I need to know what's going on. At this point in my life, I should know exactly what I'm doing. Everybody else does, right? Or no, I can't change because so and so has already told me, they're questioning what it is that I'm doing. I've already changed several times. It's embarrassing. Why can't I possibly just stick to one thing? And so on and so on and so on. And those stories grow and grow and grow. And as a result of those stories growing, we stop ourselves from even exploring the possibility that life isn't meant to have one path. Life gives us many paths to walk. Life is always trying to express its way through us so that it can experience as many amazing things as possible. And we seem to enjoy, well, not enjoy really, but we seem to kind of get into this rhythm of putting like these boulders in our path. Much like when I talk about manifesting generators, that if they don't inform when they're going to do something, these boulders appear in their path and they just get very frustrated because they're trying to kind of get to the end really quickly. And we do that for ourselves. It's interesting to me that this last week in particular, I've had 3 different people all tell me that they're stuck. And I think, firstly, that there seems to be a lot going on energy-wise around us, which is asking us to look quite deeply inside of ourselves. which is not an easy thing to do, especially when life is so busy, right? And I think sometimes we kind of fall into a rhythm where we almost allow ourselves to be pulled along by life, right? Because every day we get up, we have a routine, we do the routine, we take the kids to school, maybe we're going to have a holiday in the summer, maybe we're going to, we're waiting for the next thing to happen, to kind of break up the year. And so we kind of let life pull us along. And what we want to do is get back in the driving seat and drive our own life. And this is what human design enables us to do. It gives us permission to lean into who we are so that we can leave other people's thoughts and their expectations and kind of say, well, you know what? I love that you care about me. I love that you're sharing this with me. I love that you're concerned about me, but it's okay. I'm in the driving seat of my own life and I've got this, right? It's not like dismissing, other people's thoughts. It's not dismissing their concerns, but there is a difference between, acknowledging them and being respectful of those thoughts that are being shared with you, and then kind of absorbing them and becoming those thoughts, right? That's what we don't want to do. We don't want to become what somebody else's fears for us, right? Because really that's not helpful to them. That's not helpful to us. So when we look at something like human design, one of the most important areas of the human design system is the energy type. So these are the 5 energy types, and I do have videos on each of the energy types on my channel, so feel free to go back and have a look. But the 5 energy types are projector, manifestor, generator, manifesting generator, and reflector. And I just want to pause a few minutes on each one and just to kind of go through it and just to really help you see if you can recognize anything within this and what you can start to do to get yourself unstuck. So before I say any of this, what I do want to say is that I've spent many years looking to other people to help me get unstuck when I have those seasons. And I have come to realize more so than anything nowadays that nobody else can solve that for me. And no matter how frustrated I might become that I'm feeling stuck, I have the ambition, I have the drive, I just want to get going, right? But I feel stuck. And I can't look outside of me for that. I have to look inside of me to kind of work out, well, why am I feeling stuck? What's holding me? What's the chain that I've put around my ankle and keeping me in this place? And sometimes it's cyclical. Sometimes, and so I'm a projector, let's go there now. So for example, with projectors, we know that the energy for a projector goes and ebbs and flows. It's cyclical. And we need to honor our high moments as much as we need to honor our rest moments. But it's very frustrating when you think that you should be doing all the time, and you think that you make things happen by doing and creating, when actually with projectors, we know that the more you rest as a projector, the more success you have. And it sounds counterintuitive, but it's true. The more you rest, your energy starts to kind of almost get to work for you because you're resting, right? You're not questioning how successful you are. You know your strengths. You're comfortable with what you're offering the world. You're leaning into the things that excite you. You're leaning into something new maybe you want to learn, right? And while you're busy doing this, your energy is getting to work for you and helping people to see your light. Now, obviously, you need to be seen. So you need to be kind of like making sure that people know what you do. You can't go and hide in a cave and expect people to find you. No, somebody might. So, there is a degree of that, but there is no point putting yourself out there. There's no point doing posts on social and things like that if you don't feel like it. Honor the fact that you don't feel like it. Honor your rest moments, because projector energy is in bursts. What will happen is that you'll get very comfortable knowing that what follows a rest cycle will be these bursts of energy. And in those bursts of energy, you'll get more done in those few hours than somebody might do in a week. Because you literally, your energy is quite penetrating, it's very focused, it's very absorbing. And as a result of that, you're able to kind of move in these bursts. But we've been conditioned by society to believe that the more you do, the more success you have, that you need to kind of push yourself, because the more you push yourself, the bigger the result you're going to achieve. But actually with projectors and also manifestors, when you rest, your energy does that work for you. And so what happens is you almost come back to yourself. you kind of like almost depressurize, right? You kind of like start to then strip away all these like expectations, this need and this desire to do, because that's generator stuff, right? That's not projector or manifestor stuff, right? So just try it. If you're a projector and you're feeling stuck, change your environment, go somewhere else, right? Move yourself out of the environment that you're in, because what it is that you're also then absorbing, you could also be absorbing stuck energy from other people around you. They might be feeling a bit somber, and because you're a projector, you're going to be possibly absorbing that and seeing that and mistaking it for your own. So first and foremost, move, put yourself into a different environment. So I might, for example, go and sit in a coffee shop, or I'll go and see somebody that I know. Maybe I will go for a walk. You know, I will literally move myself from my environment. And what happens is, by doing that action, your energy starts to move. And then as your energy starts to move, you then start, you then start having ideas, and you start thinking about things, and you start kind of allowing different thoughts to come into your mind, right? And you can start to see things moving, and then your energy just naturally starts to rise. Sometimes with projectors, it is literally just a move, change the environment, speak to somebody different. Because like I said, your energy is very, very absorbing. It's penetrating. You can see everything that's going on. And it's almost like you need to give yourself a rest, right? So, you know, this will work for some people, by the way, and it might not work for others, but you can only know what's worked for you by trying. And I think if you get up every day and you feel melancholy and you don't want to move and you don't want to do anything, you're just going to keep creating that same cycle. So you want to be able to sort of get your energy to move. I think Esther Hicks. So if you listen to Abraham Hicks at all, where we talk about the law of attraction, he talks about, or they talk about law of attraction, because it's a body of entities, channeled through Esther Hicks. And when she gets stuck, her energy, and she is a mental projector, so she's a projector, she goes and writes like a list of chores, things to do. Like she's going to go and do the washing, she's going to clean the windows, I don't know, just things that she can do as a chore, right? And she'll take each one and just keep doing it until she's ticked them all off. And she finds that by the time she's got to the end of that list, by creating that movement, her energy started to move again, right? So it's got her moving, it's got her feeling unstuck. And I think as well, there is a human element to this, which is don't be tough on yourself, irrespective of your energy type. We have such high expectations of ourselves. And even if you feel like you don't, you do. The simple fact that you feel that you don't is the fact that you do, right? There's some wisdom there. I promise. Just, you know, allow yourself, be kind to yourself. I'm not saying like lie down for a week. Just, you know, you have to learn the rhythms of your body. You have to learn the rhythms of your feeling. You've got to allow yourself to understand that actually this is who I am, and I love who I am, irrespective of what everyone else is saying around me. Now, if you are a manifesting generator or a generator, you know, your natural tendency is to want to do. And with a generator, you know, you may feel stuck, for example, if you are doing things that just don't light you up. It can be as simple as that. If you are doing something that you feel is a chore, repetitive, it's not exciting, it doesn't make you feel enthusiastic, you know, that's just going to create more of the same energy, and it's just going to hold you in that place. But you'll know deep down inside you how you feel about it, because you've already recognized that you're not enjoying it, it's not exciting, you're not finding it joyful, right? And if you ignore those feelings, then you're ignoring the opportunity to give yourself something that is, or allowing yourself to create the room, rather, to give yourself something that would be joyful, that would excite you. And it asks us to be a bit brave. Now, you know, I appreciate we live in a material world and we have financial commitments and responsibilities. I think sometimes we can use those as a bit like an anchor to hold us in certain places and not give, rather than as a motivation to get us to move. Nobody else is going to change your life for you. Nobody else is going to get you unstuck. Nobody else is going to come and rescue you. And I say that with a lot of love, actually, because I've had to learn that as well. And that's why I can sit here and say that with a high degree of certainty, right? But by ignoring how you feel, by ignoring the signs that something isn't right, by ignoring those niggling thoughts, those niggling doubts, and not leaning into what you do know might light you up, what might create some enthusiasm, you deny yourself the momentum, you deny yourself the energy to help you get moving, you deny yourself the ability to get unstuck. Now, you could be in a place where you think, I don't know what to do, right? And I have been there as well. And it's very frustrating because really you just want someone to rock up and go, here's a framework, here's a formula. It's why, everyone's following goodness knows who out online, because actually what they're all looking is outside of themselves for the answer, that somewhere somebody must have done something, and that situation looks a lot like mine, so I can relate. So therefore, if they've done it, it must work for me. But every single one of us is unique. We all hold different gifts. We all hold different energy types. Our personalities are different. Our experiences are different. The environments we exist in are different. We are all so unique. And that's not to say you can't look at somebody for inspiration, but you can't adopt what they've done and assume that it's going to work for you. The only way that you know whether something's going to work for you is to try, is to give yourself permission to experiment. Right? If something interests you and you want to learn, go learn it, right? Even if it's just borrowing a book from the library, right? It doesn't have to be a £10,000 course, or it doesn't have to be go and find a mentor, right? You can literally go to a library and hire a book on it, right? We've got the internet at our fingertips. You can literally do search and there's YouTube. Like there, again, there is so much content out there to help us. When I first started learning human design, I started at a point of researching, right? I went and bought so many books. You see all the books I've got, so many books. And I read because I'm a reader, right? Then I moved on to the videos, then I moved on to certification, and I paid for the certification and the course and things. But it came as a next natural step once I knew I could comfortably be happy to do that. I almost had to sort of like do my own research. So I used what was within my means, what was within my gifts, and I bought some books. And if I wasn't financially able to do that, I would have gone to a library and hired a book. I would have gone to somebody and just said, look, can I borrow it? Like, there's ways of being able to kind of do something without needing to pour tons of money into it. But I think before you do any of that is to give yourself permission that actually it's okay to explore. And I see this a lot with the manifesting generators. Manifesting generators, by their very nature and energy type, they need to be able to do 10 different projects at the same time, and they might not be interrelated. So I know a manifesting generator who runs a tech company, is a captain in the army, did a law degree, sits on the committee of like their village, blah, 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 right? I know another manifesting generator who likes to garden, builds things with wood, is passionate about like concerts, spends some time on YouTube watching things about films, etc., etc. Like they're not, they're not interconnected, i.e., one business, multiple different streams of products within the same business. So I'm a beautician, therefore I'm going to do eyebrows, eyelashes, nails, pedicures, etc. They're different projects, right? But people looking in at, traditionally have said, well, can't you just focus on one thing? You're always changing your mind. You're always doing 100 different things. Oh, you're changing again. But that's their very energy type, is to be able to explore. Manifesting generators need to be able to pick up the things that excite them, need to be able to have a look, get through it as quickly as possible to master it, squeeze all the juice out of it, and then when it doesn't excite them, put it down, do something else. But as a society, we've always kind of condemned those people. And I'm going to use that word because we've judged people. We've said, like, that's wrong. You flip, you're always changing. You're never going to be amount to anything if you do that. How rubbish is that? We should be saying, wow, look at that courage they've got. Look how brave they are. Isn't it amazing that they can go and do all those different things? That's so inspiring. How much knowledge and experience must they have because they've got the energy to be able to manage those different things? How brilliant and powerful is that? And that's what we should be saying to people. And I literally had a conversation with a dear friend of mine today who is a manifesting generator and is literally putting something down that no longer brings her joy. But she spent months and months getting to a point where she even acknowledged the fact that it was no longer bringing her joy because she was worried about the impact it would have on other people. But instead, what she's found, I hope, is that everyone's now being supportive, right? Because she's now informed us. She's informed us using her manifesting generator strategy. She might not know exactly all the different things that she wants, but by creating that space, she's given herself permission to go and experiment. And as she experiments and as she tries different things, her energy will start to move and she will naturally start to feel more motivated, more confident in her choices, and she will start to feel unstuck. Sometimes to get unstuck is just simply to move. And it's a very difficult thing when you're sitting here going, well, I don't know what to try. I don't know what to try, right? I don't know what to do. I really want to, but I don't know what to do. But if you look at your energy type with a projector, it will normally be something that you want to learn. Just go and pick up a book, go and do some research on something that might be of interest and watch your energy move. Watch the thoughts start coming, watch the motivation coming. If you're a manifesting generator, are you concentrating just on one thing? Do you have lots of hobbies? And have to be interrelated. And don't worry about not feeling like you might not have the time to do all of those projects, because you will naturally create time for those projects because you have the energy to be able to go and do and balance those multiple projects, right? And as long as you honor putting down the ones that no longer serve you. You know, so are you doing extra hobbies? Are you doing things that you sort of looked at something, well, that looks interesting. I could quite like to give that a go, right? If you're a generator, again, are you also doing different types of projects? Is the thing that you're doing exciting for you? Is there something over here that might light you up that you've just seen? Maybe you've watched someone else do it. Maybe you've heard someone do it that might be of interest. Go research it, go explore it, go have a look. If you're a manifester, you are powerful, independent beings. You are the visionaries of the world, right? You're here to create movements, to be different. So please don't bog yourself down in, that's not what anyone else is doing. I'm going to be an odd duck if I go and do that. No, be the odd duck. We want you to be the odd duck. You're not odd, right? We want you to go do this because when you go do this, you give us permission to also come and support you and join your movements and work with you. Right? So if you're feeling stuck, where are the things that are kind of like prickling your conscience? Write it down. Just explore. Nothing's off limits. And see where you gravitate towards and see if there's something you can do, small steps, to explore it a little bit further and watch how your energy just unfolds. And if you're a reflector and you're feeling stuck, change environment and check in with the people that you surround yourself with. And make sure that they're filling your cup back up and that you're not actually being drained by them. Because you mirror back to us where we are, what we're doing, how we're feeling, etc. You know, you could be mistakenly thinking that what's going on around you is your stuff. So move yourself, change your environment, go and have coffee somewhere else, go and speak to somebody you haven't spoken to before, go and spend some time even on your own if that's what you need. Because by doing that, you release that stuck energy. So it isn't something that's like going to necessarily give you the big answer that you might be seeking. And maybe there isn't a big answer. Maybe life is meant to be made up of all these different experiences so that we can get the best possible joy and love and passion and excitement out of our journeys here. Maybe that's the answer, right? But our answer isn't going to be found by looking at everybody else. We can observe, we can get excited by it, we can monitor how we feel when we see something, right? But just because they're doing it and we're not, it doesn't mean that we're failing. It doesn't mean there's something wrong with us. You know, sometimes you just need to take the first small step. And if you know your energy type, just as I've been talking about in this video, then that will give you a clue as to what to do in order to be able to take that first step. And as long as you allow yourself to take that step, as long as you allow yourself to immerse yourself in that step, and that step will then reveal the next one and the next one, it will naturally unfold. It always does. It's either going to unfold in a way you want it or you don't want it. Either way, it's unfolding. And then it's up to you to discern which way you're going to go. So I hope this helps. I really today just wanted to talk about like human design in more like a practical sense, and that it isn't just this like amazing kind of magical kind of body graph that can tell us all this information, but actually we can use it to help us in our day-to-day lives. And I think, you know, when it comes to things like questioning our why, understanding our purpose, you know, this feeling of stuckness that we all have, and it's cyclical and we have it in our lives, you know, I think we need to allow ourselves the grace to just honor that moment and that realize that we're being given that moment for a reason. And sometimes we're being asked to stand still because maybe the thing that's meant for us is preparing itself and that it's on its way. But because we, you know, if we move too quickly, sometimes we're going to miss it. So actually, sometimes as well, getting stuck is actually slowness, it's stillness. And that's also a really, really powerful thing. But we don't like stillness. We feel uncomfortable. We think we should be moving all the time, which is why we now promote self-love and self-care, right? Because actually, if we can slow down enough to actually give ourselves love and self-care and do something for ourselves, you know, then we're giving ourselves permission to slow down. But I promise you this, you do have the answers in front of you. And if you understand your energy type, if that's all you take, right, out of human design, is just know your energy type. You know, that will give you so many ideas that you can try. And how exciting is that? So if you've got any questions at all, please let me know. Jump down below in the comments. You know how much I love conversing with everybody. And if you've watched this video and you haven't subscribed to a channel, please do. It means the world to me. And I will see you in the next video. Take care, everybody. Speak soon. Bye.